is what a really dirty one looks like. If you look, it's bad. Like you can see the edge on it. So the vein, you can see, is completely caked. And right here, it's even over top of the top side of the vein. Probably by like 50 mils. Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. So today we are going to be cleaning this Graco 1095. So first things first, what you do need is your thinner can, paintbrush, and get a pair of pliers, and then two different size of brushes, bigger one and then a smaller one. First thing you do is make sure you have no pressure. Once you have no pressure at that line, then you know there's no pressure here. This you should be able to just crack by hand. Spin this off. So as you can see, there's a filter and there's like a little plastic cage inside. Just kind of grab this plastic piece, pull it out, and you should see there's like little veins. So that's what happens is the paint runs through there. Once it goes through the filter, runs through the veins and comes out. So lots of times this vein is full of stuff. So take this and clear it all out. This one is pretty good. It was cleaned not that long ago. So put that back in. Once that, you can clean this out. What I usually do is I'll fill it up with like gun wash or lacquer thinner, shake it, empty it out. If it's really bad, you can take like a paint stir stick and like scrape it out. I usually never let mine get that bad, but sometimes you do get busy, and it does happen. Then unlatch this. Untwist this. And this is good to have a pair of pliers. You can just pull the filter right out. This filter, you should be able to see through it, no problem. If not, there you go. Plug, and yeah, you're gonna have lots of plugging tips and stuff like that. So this one does look pretty good. As you can see right through it. I think this is a 60 mesh. That's what I'm pretty sure it is. You can usually only get 60, 80, or 100, so. Typically I just run whatever I have or whatever the store has, because we just clean ours off and it doesn't really make much of a difference. It's just collecting the big dirt. It's not going to collect the fine little dust. So another thing that I like to do is this you gotta turn on and make sure, so this is your pump, it'll go up and down. So make sure it's up like that. Then there's like a little seal right here. You can push that open. Get your lubricant, throat seal lubricant, and just put a little bit in there. That way, there's a seal below here, so it just kind of keeps that throat, the piston that goes up and down for your pump, it keeps it nice and sealed so it doesn't wear out the shaft. Then you should be able to just push that right back in there. So that's something, I try and do this every single week. That way you know your gun's not going to get plugged up. There is another thing of maintenance that I try to do once a year. I will try and get a video done on that here soon. We'll see if that happens. His Graco stuff, you can buy cheaper stuff. It's called dioctylfolate. It's called DOP. It's in the spray foam world. Basically the same thing, just like probably a quarter of the cost. This throat seal, this is from Graco. When I didn't know about the DOP, So I'm pretty sure this thing was like 70 or 80 bucks. This is 32 fluid ounces, so not very much. Now I'll show you the DOP. I bought that whole 5-gallon pail for about $100, but gives you a lot more for your bang for your buck. Does the exact same thing. So how I heard about DOP was in the spray foam world, you use a lot more lubricant because you have a lot more pumps running, and that's what they use out there. So I started using that, and basically it's kind of the same pumps, just slightly different, I guess. So since I started doing that every week, it really cuts down on how many filters you gotta buy. And you know, sometimes I get super busy and it's like tips plugging. And what happens is a little piece, like when it's plugged solid, your gun has a lot harder time because it's trying to push the paint through some plugged filters, and it's working a lot harder. And then your tip will plug a lot less now that I do it like this. Typically I used to just run it for like a month, just throw the filter out, but now I try and do this. Filter probably lasts me like 6 months, maybe even a year. And yeah, so it definitely cuts down on the cost, and it's definitely easier on the rig for sure. I should kind of watch and switch more often is that very bottom filter that I never did talk about. So that one there. So that, I usually probably do it every year is typically what I kind of do, or every 6 months, somewhere in there. I did have to switch it recently because it actually got so clogged it wouldn't even suck up the paint anymore. So then I did have to switch it, and then I did kind of the whole lower end maintenance, which I'm going to be doing another video on. So anyone that does spray with one of these airlesses, tell me, what do you guys usually run for pressure? Say if you're using like a 60% volume solids, what do you usually typically run for pressures on these? I am really kind of curious. Same with a tip. I'd be really curious, what kind of tip do you guys run? As always guys, thanks for watching, and we'll catch you on the next one.